In this lecture series, today I will be talking of principles of sound investing and decision process. Friends, if you recollect, in this series of discussion on fundamental of investment, in our previous discussion, we talked about what is investment, what is speculation. We talked about what are the different factors which you should consider while investing. We talked about capital market, we talked about money market and various other issues, introductory issues we discussed. In continuation of that, I will start with that what are the principles of sound investing, that when you invest, what are the aspects which you consider, which you should consider while making investment. For that matter, I would say any investor who invests in any asset class, at that point of time, the investor should consider these following factors. Following factors means that one by one, and it is not that all the factors you will get, it depends on your objective, it depends on your risk return profile and various other things. Let me put it in perspective, like investment should match the investment objective. Whenever you make investments, there are certain goals which we want to achieve while making that investment. Depending on your objective, you choose the investment which you will be making. Your investment objective may be quick returns. Your investment objective may be capital appreciation. Your investment objective may be creating wealth, accumulating wealth. Your investment objective may be to save tax. There can be various objectives, right? And keeping in mind those objectives, you will consider the asset class, and within that asset class, you will make your own portfolio, right? I'll be discussing each of these points in detail. Just let me refer here the diversification. What do you mean by diversification? Diversification means, just as old saying goes in English, that do not put all your eggs in one basket. Similarly, whenever you make investments, do not make all your investments in one asset class. And even in that asset class, there should be different assets which you should create within that asset class. Like for example, if I talk about the equity, if you are making an equity portfolio, you must diversify in the sense that there are different type of industries. There are different industries, like you may say FMCG, fast moving consumer goods. You may talk about the pharma sector. You may talk about the IT sector. We may talk about the steel sector. There are various sectors within the different industries within the economy. When you make investment in the equity market, you choose your portfolio in a manner so that your risk is being diversified. How? By choosing different industries, your risk will be diversified. Supposing in this period, when the corona pandemic is going on, the pharma sector is doing well. The IT sector is doing well because of the people are working from home and because of the Digital India campaign of the Government of India, right? IT sector is doing well because there is a high demand of IT. It means if you invest in these sectors, you can get good returns, but what will happen in the future, you are not sure about it. You still invest in the economy sector also, like in the steel, in cement companies, right? You invest in the FMCG companies. In this way, your risk will be diversified. So the basic rule of sound investing is that we must have a diversification of our portfolio. We do not make all our investment, we should not put all our money in one type of company or in one company or in one type of company or in one industry. Always try to diversify. Whether you are a direct investor or whether you are in indirect investing, you are preferring indirect investing, means you are investing through mutual funds and other methods of indirect investing, but you should always diversify. Means your portfolio should be of different type of assets, and within that asset, your portfolio should be in different securities in that asset, right? The third basic rule of investment is power of compounding. What is compounding? Compounding means, as a layman, if I speak about the compounding, the earlier you start investing, the better it is. And for a longer period you invest, the better it is. Means, what it means is that your investment will keep on accumulating, and the return which you will get on your investment, on that return in the next period, you will get further returns. If I invest 100 rupees, right? So in the next month, it will become, if I am presuming it is giving me the return of 10%, in the next year, it will become 110. Then in the next year, the same 110 rupees will, if it gives me 10% return, it will increase by 11 rupees. So it will become 121. What you are seeing here is, in the first year, if I am presuming my rate of return is 10%, it gives me 10% return, right? 10 rupees return. In the next year, the same investment is giving me 11 rupees return, because this income which I have generated in the first year, this is also accumulating, this is also compounding. So we say that one should start investing in an early age so that the investment period remains long, and you should continuously invest. When you will continuously invest, if I invest 5,000 rupees per month in the 20-year period, it will become a great wealth for myself. The amount is small, 5,000 rupees today. If you will see it, 5,000 rupees is a very small amount. But if this 5,000 rupees monthly investment of mine gives me 10% return, over a period of 20 years, I'll able to get a huge amount of wealth. This is called power of compounding. So one should always, while making investment, one should always consider the principle of the compounding, that you will able to accumulate your wealth in a longer period of time, and if you invest consistently a sum of money, whichever you can save, and you can invest in it, that sum of money, it will help you in creating wealth for yourself. The other principle of sound investing is tax benefit. Tax benefit means different people are in different tax bracket. Like say in this month of March, people who are salaried class people, right, they have to complete their tax requirements. For tax requirements, sometime they make such investment which gives them tax benefit. Like for example, in India, if you invest in Provident Fund amount, a sum of money in the Provident Fund account, that is benefit for that investment is beneficial for tax point of view. So what the investor see, that if I invest this much sum of money in my Provident Fund, then it will give me the tax benefit of this rate in which you lies. Means if a person who lies in the 30% tax bracket, right, he will able to save 30% of your investment, whatever you have invested, 30% you will get tax benefit of it, right? So always consider what are the tax implications of this investment, because that will depend on your tax bracket, that will depend on your income group. If you are a lower income group person, you are not taxable, then your decision of investment may be different. If you are in a higher tax bracket, right, then your investment decision will be impacted by your tax liability on the investment. So always consider what are the tax benefits which you will get out of that investment. The other principle of sound investing is hedge against inflation. Always try to make investment in such asset which gives you a return which is higher than inflation rate in the country. Supposing if in the present scenario, if the rate of interest in the saving bank is 3% and the rate of inflation is 4%, then I am not hedging against inflation. I am not able to increase return on my real return on my investments. Rather, my real return is in the negative zone, because there is a 3% return, 3% interest which I am earning on this saving fund, but the inflation rate is 4% or 5%, then in real terms I am not getting anything, because the real value of money will fall. If you invest 1,000 rupees, if you deposit your 1,000 rupees in a bank which gives you 3% interest, it means it will give you 3% interest income. On the other hand, if the inflation rate is higher than 3%, so your real purchasing power of that accumulated interest plus principal amount will be less than what you was at the starting of the investment. So you should make investment, or investor should keep in mind that investor should invest in those assets where they can hedge against inflation. You may argue that people invest in saving fund because there is a lot of liquidity of the bank saving fund and you can withdraw it. That is altogether a different issue. I am talking purely from the point of view of long-term investment, that if you are making a long-term investment, if you are making an investment which you think you can spare for a longer period of time, then you should make investments. You should consider that you should make investment in those assets or those asset classes which can be hedged against inflation. Means, as a layman, you can say which gives you a return higher than the rate of inflation in the country. The other principle is save regularly for investment. As I said at the point of discussion on power of compounding, that if you are a sound and prudent investor, right, you must save regularly for your investment, because it will become your habit, and this habit of yours of saving a particular sum of money of your income, and if you invest it, then you will be able to create a good wealth, right? So one must save. One of the principle of the investment is that one must save a reasonable sum of money of her or his income and then should make a regular investment. That will be able to create a wealth for the investor. The other is investment should match with the risk appetite of the investor. Friends, this is very, very important, that while you make investment, there are two things which we always consider: risk and return, right? And different investors are in the risk, have different risk appetite. Supposing a young person who is having a regular income, who is a salaried class, he is a professional, he is getting good salary, that person's risk appetite is more, right? Normally I am generalizing it, all depends on individual to individual, right? If there is an old person who is a retiree, who is in the age of say 75, he is having a limited pension and he is working on the basis of his past accumulated money, that is the wealth which he has created. Out of that he is spending his, he is making his expenditure. So that person has low risk profile, because if that investment which he is making, if it doesn't give the return, or if the value of that investment falls, that person will be at the crossroad. But a young person who is a regular income, who is a professional, who has job security, right, that person's risk appetite is more. So what is the sound principle? The sound principle is that your risk of your whatever the investments you are making, that should match with your risk profile. Means, like say for example, the point I was talking about, a young person. So a young person, professional person, regular income, salaried income, job security, risk appetite is high, that person can go in the equity market, because return on the equity market is always fluctuating. If the equity market is doing well, the stock does well, then your investment grows. If the equity market is not doing good, right, if your stock where you have invested is not doing good, then your investment, the value of your investment may fall also, right? And even the dividend income which you get on equity is not fixed. You may get dividend, you may not get dividend, because because of any reason, if the company is not able to make profit, company may not give the dividend. So the young person who is having good income, his risk profile is more, but so he may invest in the equity market. But a retiree person will prefer or should prefer to invest in those incomes, those assets, those securities which gives fixed income. That's why these people who have low risk profile, they prefer to deposit their money in bank fixed deposit. They prefer to deposit their money in the debt funds, which gives a reasonably regular interest on their investment, right? So what you should not do. So these are what you should keep in mind while making investment. What you should not do of good investing. Do not of the good investing. That you should not do these things while investing. The first thing is avoid herd behavior, commonly referred as ostrich behavior. What is herd behavior? if everybody is investing in the stock market, I should also invest in the stock market. No, this is not a good principle, right? People are making good money in the stock market. It doesn't mean that you should also invest in the stock market, because the return on the investment, as I just said, is fluctuating. Your investments may grow at a very rapid rate, at a fast rate. Your value of your investment may fall also if the equity market is not doing good, right? So if people are investing, you should not invest. This should not be the approach of investing. If all people are investing in this asset, you should also invest in this direction. It is not the good approach. It all depends on your own objective. It all depends on your own risk capacity. It all depends on your own investment behavior. It all depends on your own convenience. Some people prefer to keep the money in the bank because they feel that the return on the bank or return that is given by the banks is constant, and the money is safe. So their behavior is such, their investment behavior is such that they want that they should get, even if they get less return, but if they get regular return, if they get a return which is fixed, that is good for them, right? So you will take the decision accordingly, right? So the idea is, I am saying, don't see what others are doing. See what your objectives are, what your risk profile is. On the basis of that, you make investment. The other don'ts of the good investing is, avoid chasing tips. Especially in a scenario when the equity market is rising. See, in this whole discussion, our discussion more or less revolves around equity investments, because when we discuss this subject of fundamental of investment, by and large our discussion revolves around equity market. That's why I am giving more examples of the equity market. So I say avoid chasing tips. What it means? That especially in a time when the stock market rises, many people start giving tips. Tips means, oh, this share will go up, that share will go up. And as an investor, you are lured by that increased value of the investment which others are telling you. And they are saying, oh, this share will go up, the share price of this company will go up, and you tend to buy it. Don't do that, right? These tips can be very expensive. These tips can be false. Make your own research and then only make your investment. Make your homework, do your homework in a good manner, right? And then you make investments. We normally say, even when you go to the vegetable market, you see the quality of the tomato, you see the quality of the potato, and when you are putting huge sum of money, you must make your homework while making investment. Just by hearsay or just by somebody suggesting you, don't make that investment, right? Unless that person is a professional investment advisor. The other don'ts is, do not expect quick returns. See, sometimes people are lured of quick returns and they make hasty decision. Don't make hasty decision. Don't expect very quick returns, because these quick returns, expectation of quick returns can be very expensive also. Always expect reasonable returns of that asset class, right? Because in the lure of this quick returns, you may make wrong decision, and this will trap you, right? So don't expect too much and quick returns of your investments. Avoid investing all money in one share or sector. As I said when I was talking about diversification, when I say principles of sound investing, I'm just saying opposite of it. Don'ts of good investing means you must put it in other words, you must diversify. Don't invest all your money in one share or sector. Sector in the sense, as I was saying, there are different sectors in the economy. There is a pharma sector, there is a IT sector, fast moving consumer goods, cement, steel, and number of textile, and number of sectors where the companies, they are listed in the stock market, and there are good companies, right? If you invest only in one sector, and if that sector, if that industry, because of some reason or the other, doesn't perform well, your investment will not give you good returns. So it is always better to diversify your portfolio, right? Next is, don't buy stocks of bad companies. It's a basic thing that you make investment in the sound companies which where have good fundamental record, which have good management, which have prudent management, right, which have shown results over a period of time, right, in the past, and where the management is good, you are expecting that the management is doing good job, so then only invest, but don't invest in the bad companies. This is don'ts of good investing. So friends, here I have talked about what you should consider while making investment, what you should not do while making your investment, right? The next very important aspect is a very, very important aspect, that is investment decision process. How you make investments, what are the different steps involved in the decision process. I am going to discuss one by one each of these points. The process of investment comprising the following steps. Number one, set up the investment goal, right? While making investment, you must decide that what your investment goal is. Investment goal means what are your objectives of making investment. Let me talk about the points, then I will discuss each of these points in detail. Building up an inventory of securities. The third step is performing security analysis. Fourth step is constructing portfolio, analyzing portfolio and selecting the optimum portfolio. Next step is portfolio performance evaluation and management. And lastly, portfolio revision. So friends, these are the 6 different steps, different processes which one investor should go through while making investment, right? That is setting up of the investment goal, building up of an inventory of securities, performing security analysis, constructing portfolio analysis, portfolio and selecting the optimum portfolio, portfolio performance evaluation and management, and portfolio revision. Each of these steps I will be discussing in detail in my next lecture. So today what we have discussed is, basically we have focused around that what are the principles of sound investing, that on the basis of these you can make good investment, right? So I have talked about 5-6 steps which you should always, not steps, I will say 5-6 factors which you must consider while making investment. And we have also discussed about, I have also talked about what are the things which you should not do while making investment. And then I have just mentioned about the investment decision process, that what are the different steps involved in the investment decision, right, process. So I'll be discussing this in detail in the next lecture of mine on this very topic. Thank you very much.